Hello, dạ, Long Nguyên xin thân ái kính chào quý vị, kính thưa quý vị. Kế bên đó là hôm nay là Long Nguyên được hân hạnh được gặp bà giám sát viên là supervisor bà GSV ở Địa hạt 1 để gặp gỡ chúng ta. Hôm nay là trước hết là Long Nguyên xin kính chào bà và chúc bà được nhiều sức khỏe, cũng như là bây giờ trước hết là tại sao hôm nay có một cái sự kiện thấy Long Nguyên tới đây rất là thấy xôn xao và vui vẻ và rất là đông người.
Dạ, trước hết Janet xin kính chào anh Lâm Nguyên và xin kính chào quý vị. Các bữa nay là mình ở hội đồng giám sát có một cái bữa họp bữa nay, và thưa quý vị, bữa họp bữa nay rất là quan trọng. Mình có hai dự án, một là mình vinh danh và nhớ sự hy sinh của các ông bà chiến sĩ Việt Nam Cộng Hòa cho chiến tranh Việt Nam. Và thứ hai, thưa quý vị, là mình muốn xin hội đồng giám sát yêu cầu US Attorney coi lại cái vụ án của ông Andrew Đỗ, của giám sát viên Andrew Đỗ. Thưa quý vị, ông ta, quý vị mà đọc được cái giấy tờ của tòa đó, án đó, thưa quý vị, if US Attorney hồi xưa đó mà charge him cho mỗi cái count đó, thưa quý vị, he could literally đi vô tù tới gần tới 50 năm tới 100 năm lận đó, thưa quý đồng hương. Và tại sao mà mình muốn hỏi tại sao là US Attorney trong under ông President Biden administration đó cho chỉ có up to 5 năm thôi. Chúng tôi mong muốn là hội đồng giám sát yêu cầu US Attorney của Trump administration coi lại cái vụ án đó, tại cái đó nói là justice là không có fair và rất là không có đúng, và tại sao một người dân cử được cái sweetheart deal như vậy. So một lần nữa Janet xin cảm ơn anh và xin cảm ơn quý bác và ông bà đã tới đây bữa nay để ủng hộ và giúp cho Janet ở hội đồng giám sát. Dạ,
cảm ơn bà supervisor giám sát viên rất là nhiều. Một lần nữa xin chúc bà được nhiều sức khỏe và thành công trên con đường chính trị của bà. Thân ái kính chào bà. Và kính thưa quý vị, giờ đây xin mời quý vị theo dõi là những giây phút tới là Long Nguyên sẽ gửi đến quý vị cái buổi họp ngày hôm nay. Thứ nhất là giống như bà GSV vừa rồi bà có chia sẻ là ngày hôm nay để tưởng niệm là coi như là ngày 30 tháng 4 năm 1975 cho đến hôm nay là 50 năm để là coi như là tưởng niệm cái ngày mà chúng ta đã mất miền Nam Việt Nam và những người Việt tị nạn cộng sản của chúng ta đã phải sống ở xứ người, đặc biệt là đang sống ở đất nước Hoa Kỳ. Một lần nữa xin mời quý vị theo dõi những cái phóng sự sắp tới và xin cùng với quý vị để chia sẻ những cái gì mà quý vị nhìn thấy và xem được và cho biết ý kiến và comment, cũng như giúp cho là cái cộng đồng này càng ngày càng được thăng tiến hơn. Và một lần nữa Long Nguyên cũng không quên cảm ơn quý vị đã theo dõi chương trình của Long Nguyên trong những năm tháng vừa qua, và không quên cầu chúc cho quý vị được nhiều sức khỏe, làm ăn tấn tài tấn lộc tấn bình an. Xin thân ái mời quý vị. Kính thưa quý vị, trước khi Long Nguyên gửi đến quý vị cái phóng sự ngày hôm nay do hội đồng giám sát của quận Orange County, tức như là quận Cam, trong đó là bà GSV là người coi như là giám sát viên của Địa hạt 1 sẽ có tổ chức ngày hôm nay để mà coi như là làm lễ tưởng niệm cái ngày 30 tháng 4, có nghĩa là 50 năm là miền Nam Việt Nam bị mất, bị đứt phim. Thì hôm nay bà GSV sẽ là một cái vinh danh, xin lỗi, không phải vinh danh mà là tưởng niệm một cái buổi ngày hôm nay. Và cái thứ hai nữa là cái vấn đề là của ông Andrew Đỗ, và sẽ do đồng hương cũng như là bà GSV sẽ đưa ra hội đồng Orange County và hội đồng giám sát của quận Orange County sẽ đưa ra. Thì ngày hôm nay xin mời quý vị theo dõi. Kính thưa quý vị, cái clip ngày hôm nay thì chúng tôi Long Nguyên cũng xin quý vị thông cảm, tha thứ tiếng Anh sẽ nhiều hơn, bởi vì ở đây là Long Nguyên muốn quay để mà trực tiếp là tiếng Anh, tại vì những người Mỹ người ta họp là nói tiếng Anh không, có người Việt mình thì có thông dịch, nhưng mà Long Nguyên không có thể nào dịch ra cho quý vị nghe được. Thành thử ra quý vị thông cảm, ráng cố gắng nghe, hoặc quý vị vô Google quý vị sẽ là transfer lên, quý vị sẽ được coi như có cái dòng chữ nó chạy bằng tiếng Việt cho quý vị theo dõi cái vấn đề đó. Mong quý vị thông cảm dùm ha. Một lần nữa Lâm Nguyên xin cảm ơn quý vị đã theo dõi chương trình của Lâm Nguyên. Và giờ đây xin mời quý vị hơi dài nhưng mà ráng cố gắng, nếu mà có thể Lâm Nguyên thấy mà nó quá dài thì Lâm Nguyên sẽ đưa ra 2 cái chương trình phạt 1, phạt 2, có nghĩa là chương trình 1, chương trình 2. Một lần nữa xin mời quý vị nha. Ok. Thưa quý vị, vì thấy hiện giờ là coi như chuẩn bị có cái cuộc bí họp ở chúng Lâm Nguyên không nhận thấy là cũng có quan khách rất là nhiều á tới, có người bản xứ, những người là những cái dân tộc khác, những người Tây Ban Nha, người bản xứ.
I'm Chair Doug JP, also your 4th District Supervisor. Please take a seat. We'll begin with our presentations. Our first presentation is what we call Black April Memorial Month. Marks the 50th anniversary of the Republic of Vietnam fell to communist forces on April 30, 1975. Being brought forward by Supervisor Nguyen, and have her lead off with the remarks in the presentation. Supervisor Nguyen.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good morning. Again, I'm Supervisor GSV, and I represent the 1st District. First, I want to thank the many guests here with us today, Vietnam veterans, Republic of Vietnam veterans, and many Vietnamese refugees, Vietnamese Americans that are here with us today. Today, I stand before you, not just as an Orange County supervisor, but as a Vietnamese refugee who has lived the history we are commemorating. The fall of Saigon was not just a moment in history. It was an event that changed my life, my family's, and millions of Vietnamese refugees around the world. My family, like many others, fled Vietnam on a small wooden boat in search of freedom and democracy. My father and uncle both served in the Republic of the Vietnam Army. My uncle, an officer, was executed days before Saigon fell in front of a small village to use as an example that the communist government has taken over. April 30th, 1975 marked the fall of Saigon. It was the end of the war, but the beginning of unimaginable suffering for millions of Vietnamese people. In the month of April, we commemorate and thank those who served, those who fought, and those who gave their ultimate life. And we honor them by remembering that April is Black April. For many, it meant being separated from loved ones, imprisoned in re-education camps, or risking their lives to escape. Of the 1.5 million people who fled Vietnam, almost 250,000 of them have died overseas. Those who made it to America worked tirelessly to rebuild, contribute to their new communities while preserving the values of democracy, freedom, and human rights. Today, Little Saigon stands as a testament. The Vietnamese American community has made a lasting impact in Orange County, not only as survivors, but as leaders, entrepreneurs, active citizens, and very proud Americans. We have risen to among the highest levels of government, medicine, law, and education. Orange County's Little Saigon is home to the largest population of Vietnamese people outside of Vietnam. This resolution is a solemn reminder of the sacrifices made for freedom and democracy. It ensures that future generations understand that the cost of losing democracy and the threat of communism. As we celebrate and remember 50 years since the fall of Saigon, let us reflect on the sacrifices of both Vietnamese and American veterans who fought for our freedom and honor those who never made it to America or back home. Over 58,000 Americans, military men and women, did not make it home. And hundreds of thousands of Vietnamese soldiers and hundreds of thousands of Vietnamese people died during the war. So I thank my colleagues for recognizing the importance of this resolution. Together, we ensure that Black April and the important lessons of the Vietnam War are not forgotten. And we have here with us today as well. I'm going to read the name, and as you can, just please come on up. And actually, if you can't, start making your way up. We have here quite a long list, so please bear with me. Mr. Ki Nong Pham, Chairman of the Trenton Umpire Organization, Co-Chairman of the Joint Committee Against Communism. Dr. Anthony Nguyen, pharmacist. Honorable Fat Boy, former councilman of the City of Garden Grove, and also president of the Vietnamese American Federation of Southern California. Mr. Richard Bui Jr., chairman of the Southwestern United States Republic of Vietnam Soldiers Collective Coordination Center. Sao A. Cao, advisor of Southwestern United States Republic of Vietnam Soldiers. Lam Pham, Executive Director of the Vietnamese League of Orange County. Van Quy, President of the South Vietnam Border Special Forces. Van Tien Nguyen, President of the Descendants of South Army Republic of Vietnam. Tan Liêm Phan, the Descendants Military Junior Cadet of the South Republic of Vietnam. Phuong Thi Dinh, President of the 5th Infantry Division of the South Republic of Vietnam Army. Hio Vu, the South Republic of Vietnam Marines. Chow Lam, President of the American and Vietnamese Elderly Association. Cang Nguyen, President of the A+ Education Organization. Sung Dien, the Sung Dien POW Association. Bac Nha Williams, President of the Rebuild Village Cadet of South Vietnam Association. Ngoc Diep Cao, President of the Linh Hoa Buddhist Family Association. Cong Pham, President of the South Republic of Vietnam Army Jeep Association. Tina Tam, President of the Descendants of the South Female Vietnam Military Association. Tina Vo, Vice President of the Descendants of the South Female Vietnam Military Association. Anthony Min Hung Cao, President of the Vietnamese Artists Friendship Club. Tom Vo, President of the Southern California Vietnamese National Military Academy Alumni. Duc Minh Ho, President of the Vietnam War Memorial. Bob Harrison, Vice President of Vietnam War Memorial. Robert McCliss, Huntington Beach American Legion Post 133. Lori Hall, United States Marine Corps, Cyprus American Legion Post 295. And I don't see Bobby, but also Bobby Bob, he's right here. Bobby McDonough, United States Navy. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Vicente Sarmiento, Orange County Supervisor for the 2nd District. Xin chào quý vị to everybody. And thank you, Supervisor Nguyen, for bringing this Black April Memorial Month to the board. April is a month of remembrance commemorating the fall of Saigon on April 30th, 1975, and honoring the victims and survivors of this important event. This period is particularly significant for the Vietnamese diaspora who fled Vietnam in search of safety and a better life. Known as Black April, this day marks the end of the Vietnam War and the reunification of Vietnam under communist rule, a moment in history that led to profound loss, sacrifice, and displacement for many South Vietnamese families. It serves as a reminder of the courage and hardships endured by those who lived through this time and the lasting impact it had on their lives. In addition to marking the fall of Saigon, April is a time to reflect on the resilience of the Vietnamese diaspora. For those who fled, particularly to the United States, Black April Memorial Month provides an opportunity to honor their struggles and acknowledge the ongoing healing journey. Many of these individuals found new homes here in Southern California, where they have become an integral members of our community. The city of Santa Ana, located in my district, holds a historic connection to the Vietnamese community. In 1980, Santa Ana became a vital hub for Vietnamese refugees, with over 6,200 refugees settling there, paving the way for many other cities in Orange County to follow. In fact, many say that that the beginning of the Vietnamese community, the start, was in Santa Ana by 1st and Sullivan Street, which is where many Vietnamese family arrived. Today, Little Saigon in Orange County stands as the largest Vietnamese diaspora community in the world, with more than 189,000 residents of Vietnamese descent. Little Saigon is not only a cultural and commercial center, but at the heart of the Vietnamese American community in Southern California, encompassing parts of Westminster, Garden Grove, and Santa Ana. During my 15 years on the Santa Ana City Council as both a council member and mayor, I proudly represented the Vietnamese American community's interests that have led to several meaningful achievements. In 2009, I authored and championed a resolution officially recognizing the yellow flag of the Republic of Vietnam, symbolized by these beautiful scarves that the supervisor provided for us, and I hear she hand knitted them. Is that true?
I wish. Not that talented.
Multi-talented. The yellow with the 3 red stripes as the flag of freedom and heritage of the Vietnamese people. In 2010, I introduced a resolution passed by the Santa Ana City Council to recognize June 19th each year as Vietnamese Armed Forces Day in Santa Ana, paying tribute to the courage and sacrifice of members of the Vietnamese Armed Forces, many of whom are not with us today. In 2012, I drafted and successfully lobbied for the passage of a resolution discouraging official visits from the government representatives of the Socialist Republic of Vietnam to the city of Santa Ana. And lastly, in December 2014, I introduced a Resolution 85A, which designated October 26th of each year as the Republic of Vietnam Day in Santa Ana, that honors and commemorates the sacrifices and bravery of former soldiers, civil servants, and civilians of the Republic of Vietnam. As we honor the sacrifices of the Vietnamese community during Black April Memorial Month, it is crucial that we continue to support the refugees and immigrants here that are with us. Providing resources and opportunities that help newcomers thrive is essential for ensuring that they can heal and build futures for themselves and their families in our community. Thank you so much, Supervisor Nguyen. Thank you to everybody here and all your families as well. Welcome.
I'd just like to thank all of you for the courage, the contributions you've made to your society and to the County of Orange. It's so important to give us your talent, your time, your energy. That's what makes Orange County so great. We're a melding pot of so many different communities, and the vibrant ones you represent is one of the most important that we have in the county. Little Saigon is amazing. It represents a melding pot of all kinds of things, but particularly a representative of the Vietnamese community that is worldwide. So thank all of you for the sacrifices you've made and your contributions you're going to continue to make to a life and our county of Orange. Thank you all.
Yes, please leave it. Warren. Everyone take one step forward. Everyone take one step forward. There we go. And then if all of you could come behind here.
I need you to move a little bit.
Hello.
Can you like step? Come behind over here.
Sleeve right under your hand.
Yeah.
Right here, yes. Right here.
1, 2, 3, cheese. 1, 2, 3, cheese. Congratulations.
Right here, right here. 1, 2, 3. Right over here. That's a little tight. 1, 2, 3. Oh, hi, Bob. Perfect. Over here? Photo? A foot over here? Eyes over here? Congratulations.
Contributions in success of California and Orange County. I'd like to thank Supervisor Sarmiento for joining with me in presenting this item. And, you know, in 2020, in response to public feedback regarding the lack of identification of the Middle Eastern and North African, or what we call MENA population, the census provided a write-in response area. So we have about 3.5 million people identified as MENA alone, accounting for a large percent of our American population. California, about 740,000 people belong to MENA, of which an estimated 373,000 are Arab American. But Arab American heritage is diverse, with different nationalities converging together to create a rich cultural heritage. MENA includes, let me go through the list, hope I don't mispronounce, Arabic and non-Arabic speaking groups. It includes, but not limited to, Afro-Arabs, Persians, Circassians, Armenians, Amazighs, Cypriots, Druze, Copts, Jews, Georgians, Yazidis, Kurds, and Somalis, as well as Turkish people such as Turks, Azerbaijanis, Uzbeks, Kazakhs, Kyrgyz, and more. Sorry if I mispronounced any of those. You can tell it's a very diverse community. It has a huge melting pot of cultures and communities that actually lasted centuries, have shaped the world with contributions from science to the arts. In April, we celebrate their heritage by supporting and acknowledging the various successes of the Arab and MENA American community in Orange County. I'd like to invite up some local leaders here to accept the resolution we're presenting this morning. The Arab American Civic Council, Mr. Amin Nash, who's a policy and advocacy coordinator. Please come up as your name is called. Mr. Hani Haidar, Administrative Development Coordinator. Community members, we have Mr. Zeshan Abid, who's an ER nurse. Mr. Hazem Al-Gawarwi, business owner. Ms. Mervet Duda, business owner. Mr. Salam Ali and Mrs. Sahar Ali, community leaders. Ms. Dina Helmi, the chair of the Shura Council and Behavioral Health Sciences Manager for the Orange County Health Agency. And Farah Kankar, Arab American Business Chamber. Again, I apologize for not pronouncing the names correctly. The Arab and MENA Americans are key partners in our county, working together towards peace and equality for all members of society. They're leaders in healthcare, business, civics, arts, law, and education. With the efforts of the many Arab and MENA Americans living in Orange County, the city of Anaheim designated the area centered on Burko Street in Anaheim between La Palma and Cattell Avenues as Little Arabia in 2022. Yeah. After 2 decades of advocacy, the long-awaited Little Arabia signs were installed on the I-5-91 freeways in September 2024. It took a long time. It was well worth waiting for. Little Arabia is a cultural and business destination for Arab Americans and Americans of diverse backgrounds who enjoy Arab culture and heritage, including food, festivals, and educational programs. I encourage all Orange County residents to explore Little Arabia, learn more about the diversity and beauty of Arab American culture. Before Amin speaks, Supervisor Sarmiento, would you like to join, and any of my colleagues as well?
Thank you, Mr. Chair, for allowing me to collaborate with you on National Arab, Middle Eastern, and North African Heritage Month presentation. Let me just go ahead and mention somebody else that is up here on stage with us, who I have so much respect for. I consider him a friend, but most importantly, he's a leader in in Orange County. So Amir Mertaban is the child of Lebanese immigrants who is proud of his local and overseas roots. He is the executive director at the Islamic Society of Orange County, the largest Muslim community center in Southern California. A dedicated servant to his community for over 20 years, he has tirelessly championed the advancement of the Muslim community and the pursuit of social justice, which is why we are very, very honored. Thank you, Amir, and everybody else who's here for joining us. So let me go ahead and just say that this month serves as a time for us to celebrate and recognize the history, culture, traditions, and contributions of the Arab and MENA Americans. It's time to honor the diversity of our communities and acknowledge the invaluable contributions that MENA, Arab, Middle Eastern, and North African communities have made in fields such as arts, science, politics, and beyond. Orange County is home to a vibrant MENA community, highlighted by Little Arabia in Anaheim. Opened on August 23, 2022, Little Arabia stretches along the Berkhurst corridor from Broadway to Ball. This features restaurants, cafes, markets, and businesses offering services like insurance, law, cosmetology, all vital to the local economy and the needs of the community. Little Arabia reflects the cultural richness of the MENA community while contributing to the county's growth and success. Orange County is home to a significant MENA population with 68,000 Middle Eastern and North African residents. 32,000 are Iranian Americans, 30,000 are Arab Americans, and 6,000 are Armenian Americans. Each of these groups contributes to the cultural tapestry of our region. This demographic diversity enriches the community, bringing a variety of traditions, perspectives, and experiences that make Orange County unique. In California, the MENA community is significant, but their distinct identity is sometimes, and many times, overlooked in census data and general demographic reporting. As a result, demographic statistics about MENA communities are often embedded within larger racial or ethnic groups, as was mentioned earlier, making it challenging to fully understand the population size, needs, and contributions. On January 6th, Assemblymember John Harabedian introduced the California Assembly Bill AB 91, the MENA Inclusion Act, an important piece of legislation that seeks to recognize the contributions of Arab, Middle Eastern, and North African communities at the state level. This bill would formally recognize the MENA Heritage Month in California, ensuring that the history, culture, and achievements of these communities are honored statewide. It reflects the growing acknowledgement of the MENA community's role in shaping California's diverse social, cultural, and economic landscape. Later on this morning, I will be asking my colleagues to consider including AB 91 as part of our package to make sure that we support that bill. As we come together to celebrate, it's also important to recognize the challenges that the MENA community face, including overcoming stereotypes and fighting for greater representation and understanding. This month provides an opportunity to reflect on how we can support and amplify these communities, ensuring they feel seen, valued, and heard in all aspects of life, especially when it comes to Islamophobia, a lot of the hate that these communities face, and that is something that we all need to stand against. So as we celebrate, we also need to acknowledge that communities are unfortunately villainized, victimized, and abused simply for seeing the world differently. All of us who come here as immigrants bring our culture, and we need to make sure that we not just support, but we celebrate and support them legally as well. So as we celebrate National MENA Heritage Month, let's take a moment to honor the cultural contributions, history, and ongoing efforts of the Arab, Middle Eastern, and North African communities in Orange County and across the nation. Thank you all for being here with us. Thank you all for being leaders in the community and making sure that we continue to advance our county. Thank you.
Good morning, I'm Katrina Foley, County Supervisor, representing the fabulous 5th District. The 5th District covers Costa Mesa, where I live, all the way down to San Clemente. Orange County joins the nation in recognizing Arab, Middle Eastern, and North African American Heritage Month. California is home to the largest Arab American, Middle Eastern, and North African population in the nation. Orange County has the 5th highest population of Arab Americans in the nation. The city of Irvine in the 5th District, which is part of Our home is approximately 3% of California's Arab American population. The fabulous 5th District is happy to welcome Arab American, Middle Eastern, and North African residents as neighbors, colleagues, friends, business leaders, community leaders, and faith-based leaders. I'm also pleased to report that we have at least 2 safe places in Orange County for the MENA community, and one is in Costa Mesa, the Islamic Educational Center of Orange County, which I had the privilege of helping to get open when I was on the City Council and Mayor of the City of Costa Mesa, and in Irvine, the Islamic Center and Salam Islamic Center. Also, in addition to the Assembly bill that Supervisor Sarmiento mentioned, we also expect to see the MENA group included in the 2030 United States Census. So we can start to gather some additional demographic documentation, which will inform our health, public services, other needs of the community. So in Orange County, we're here to ensure all of our people and all of our cultures are represented and celebrated and recognized. So thank you all for joining us here today. We appreciate you taking time out of your busy days to be here with us. Thank you so much. Can I get a picture? No, we have a speaker. Oh, I'm sorry.
I'd like to say a few words. Oh, thank you. Well, good morning, everybody. I just want to commend all my colleagues and everybody here in Orange County and everybody here for being here this morning. Arab and Middle Eastern North African Heritage Month is something that kind of just started recently, believe it or not, within the last 5 or 6 years, but it's well needed. The community has gone through a lot of struggles, a lot of misunderstanding, and now finally we're making strides to actually be recognized and be counted as members of this community, but not just members, but as contributors. And specifically here in Orange County, the community has impacted the area immensely. We already mentioned Little Arabia, which has a large Arab population, but also is home to a Palestinian diaspora of people who were born in Syria because they were pushed out of Palestine, and then they moved here to America. And you can see what they contributed here in Anaheim. They started businesses, they started built homes, and it all started down actually in Garden Grove in ISOC, where they started as a little garage, and they came together and they built a community. And they wanted to do that because they believed in Orange County and they believed in the community. Orange County in general has become kind of a paradise for this community. We've been accepted, we've been able to start businesses, we've been able to contribute, but the impact of foreign conflicts, the impact of misunderstandings, and the impact of a legacy of, quite frankly, prejudice has largely impacted and caused a lot of trauma of the community throughout the history. We still haven't found the murderer of Alex Ode back in the 1980s, who was murdered here in Santa Ana. The community during 9/11, especially down in Little Arabia, has a history of beatings and spying from the police. And now we see immense trauma and pain that the community feels because the government is arresting our community and practically kidnapping them in broad daylight without any protections. So I'm here with my community as a representation to respect this history, but also to remind us and to understand that we've gone through a lot and we're still going through a lot. And as much as we want symbolic recognition and these type of resolutions, we do need actual stances and actual support from the community and everybody at large. And I asked, I was going to bring AB 91, but we're already going to be talking about today, so I really commend the Board of Supervisors for taking a stance to actually bring this kind of data recognition to our community, because it will help us understand ourselves past the immigration laws and past data that brands us as enemies of the state, whereas we are supporters of the state and contributors of the state. So this month, though it's about heritage and contributions, I just want to remind ourselves that healing does take a lot of time, but healing can only begin through proactive engagement, by reaching out your hand out to talk to the community and not waiting until the community gets arrested and in the last minute you set a resolution that say, I'm sorry. Proactive engagement means we recognize you, we see you, and not only that, we understand that you're important here because we've been here for a long time and we continue to want to be here for a long time, and we will be here for a long time. So I want to commend once again all of my community members for being here. I'm so proud of you guys for everything you guys do. You're all beautiful. And everybody here, please continue just understanding our community. Reach out to us. We live here. We breathe here. You know, some of us have been here since the 70s. Just reach out to us. Call, talk to us, and we're here to help. Thank you.
She hired me to become her photographer.
And this is the observance of National Public Health Week, where we want to highlight the contributions of public health and encourage people to become part of a movement for a healthier nation. This year, National Public Health Week theme is, "It Starts Here," which hopes to inspire individuals to make a difference in their homes and communities and their personal lives. This week's focus is on prevention and reducing unhealthy activities like promoting vaccination, healthy eating, and physical activity to keep you well and strong. Public health is crucial for community well-being, playing a vital role in identifying needs, promoting healthy practices, and supporting healthy lifestyles. The Orange County Health Department monitors and investigates the occurrence of disease, injury, and related factors in the community to develop and implement preventive strategies to improve the health of the public. I'd like to invite the Healthcare Agency Public Health team to come up. As I call your name, would you please come up? Jenna Saran, Director of Public Health and Nursing. Alicia Carranza, Tobacco Use Prevention Program Health Educator. Megan Crumpler, Public Health Laboratory Director. Ron Daria, Pulmonary Disease Services Public Health Nurse. Miss Shad, I hope I said that right. Environmental Health Supervising Hazardous Materials Specialist. Travers Ingenos, Public Health Accreditation Manager. Kathy Martinez, the Community Nursing Services Division Manager. Julie Pham, Workforce Development Health Services Manager. And Tara Rangan, Communicable Disease Control Division, epidemiologist. I think I need a drink of water here. When discussing public health, you must also focus on health equity, securing everyone the same opportunity to attain their highest level of health. Achieving health equity means breaking down systemic barriers that affect how our communities access information about public health and receive health. You must particularly watch out for vulnerable communities, such as our low income and communities of color that seem to suffer the most in public health cases. Public health professionals are important partners collaborating with leaders across sectors that can influence health outcomes. So thank you to our healthcare agency, public health staff for their diligent work keeping Orange County healthy and safe. Thank all of you. Before Director Saran gives her remarks, would any of my colleagues like to say a few words? Supervisor Foley.
Good morning again. Katrina Foley, County Supervisor, representing, of course, the 5th District. And it's a place where we care deeply about public health. And as the theme is, it all starts here. I'd like to invite up also to join us Carolyn McQueen, Melissa Christian, and Tracy Bloom. And if there's someone from the Aliso Viejo Community Association, also from Toxic Free OC. So please join us. Reflecting on the broad scope of public health, everything starts with a healthy community. And a healthy community includes a community that's toxic free and free of pesticides. Orange County remains a first-class destination for our visitors, our residents, our institutions, our people who are coming here for college. We have beautiful open spaces, parks, beaches, and we've taken great strides to protect the public health as they are enjoying those spaces. And those strides include eliminating the use of toxic pesticides like glyphosate. I never can say that. Glyphosate, otherwise known as Roundup and other, it's termed other brands, but it's basically classified as a probable human carcinogen by the World Health Organization. The Environmental Protection Agency says the herbicide is unlikely to be carcinogenic if applied as directed. The problem is, what we see is that it's just sprayed all over the place without any regard, and so not applied as directed and harmful to kids in playgrounds, on beaches, in parks, and in open spaces. So this debate has gone on for years, but in a way to be proactive, in 2016, Irvine led as the first city to go non-toxic. In 2017, San Juan Capistrano became the second city to adopt an organics first policy to control weeds and pests in parks and open spaces. And then when I was the mayor of Costa Mesa in 2019, we followed the lead of Irvine and San Juan, and we declared the city the third city to go toxic-free and protect residents. We passed a weed abatement and pest management plan that prohibits the use of toxic pesticides even on sports fields. In September of 2018, San Clemente City Council approved a policy that prioritized organics. In 2020, Laguna Hills started an organic-only pilot program for 2 city parks. In 2020, also Rancho Mission Viejo, Ladera Ranch moved towards an organics program. And in Laguna Beach in 2020, anticoagulant rodenticides were unanimously banned. And then in 2024, Laguna Beach passed a measure to stop spraying glyphosate. The county also has a toxic-free model in our parks, waterways, and places where people play. And I've had many conversations with Amanda Carr about how this model is implemented, and I appreciate the hard work of our team to make sure that we can still clear areas that are fire-prone, but also keep those pesticides out of our waterways and out of our places where people play. Our homeowners associations in Laguna Niguel, San Clemente, Irvine, and Aliso Viejo have followed suit. And thank you to the Toxic-Free OC founders, Carolyn, Melissa, and Tracy, for your advocacy and your efforts. I want to thank Aliso Viejo Community Association, who recently ended the spraying of toxic herbicides, pesticides, and cancer-causing chemicals in the Aliso Viejo Canyon View Park. So truly, it all starts here, right here in Orange County. So let's keep it going. Let's keep Orange County a healthier place in this paradise we call home. Thank you. And thank all of you for all of the work you do to protect our public health.
Morning again, everybody. I'm Vicente Sarmiento, Orange County Supervisor for the 2nd District. Thank you, Mr. Chair, for bringing Public Health Week forward. We've got some of the most, not only talented public health workers here and employees and staff here at the county, but some of the most committed and compassionate. So thank you for all of your work that you do. As was mentioned, addressing equity challenges when it comes to public health is vital, particularly within my district, the 2nd District, which incorporates all of Santana, parts of Anaheim, Orange, Tustin, and Garden Grove, to ensure that every individual has access to essential resources and support. And tackling these disparities is key to fostering fairness, inclusivity, and a stronger community where everyone's needs are met. The California Department of Public Health recently shared an update regarding notice from the CDC that it plans to discontinue state funding for several key grants established during the COVID-19 pandemic. These include expanded epidemiology laboratory capacity, immunization and vaccines for children, and health disparities grants. Additionally, federal transitions under the current administration place research and critically necessary public health programs at risk. This ultimately will result in the reduced ability to address and respond to public health related challenges, including disease outbreaks such as measles, Legionella, and much more. This development is concerning, as it highlights challenges for public health initiatives and practitioners that have been critical during and after the pandemic. Prevention remains a cornerstone of public health efforts, and the loss of such funding raises serious concerns about maintaining effective services. In these rapidly evolving times, it's more important than ever to come together and adapt. The shifting landscape of public health funding demands resilience, collaboration, and a collective commitment to safeguarding the well-being of our communities. The Public Health Department in Orange County has been in existence for well over a century and has allowed our county to flourish and even eliminate deaths as a result of communicable diseases, including typhoid, diphtheria, and polio. Over the last few years, we personally witnessed the emergence of new infectious diseases, including COVID-19 and the bird flu, and the reemergence and rise in cases of well-known infectious diseases such as measles. I want to extend my heartfelt gratitude to the healthcare agency and all the dedicated staff working within or in partnership with the public health services. Your unwavering efforts in fostering healthier communities and shaping a brighter tomorrow are deeply appreciated. And these words and this recognition doesn't do justice to the work that's been done and all the sacrifices these folks have made, not only now, but in the recent past, because I know that this county certainly faced challenges as the rest of our country did when we went through the pandemic. But the work continues. So I just want to say on behalf of all the residents in the 2nd District and the entire county, thank you for everything that you do every day. I appreciate it.
National Public Health Week is an opportunity to honor the impact public health has on the well-being of our communities, especially after the COVID pandemic. This year's theme, It Starts Here, serves as a reminder that each of us plays a role in improving public health, whether through our everyday choices, actions, or collective commitment to healthier communities. Public health goes beyond medical care. It's about fostering environments where everyone can thrive. Clean water, safe neighborhoods, and opportunities for everyone to succeed are the foundation of public health and essential for building stronger, healthier futures. None of this is possible without the dedication of our public health professionals, especially those within the county family. From researchers and educators to healthcare workers on the front line, to these individuals are the backbone of progress. Thank you for your continued support and for your continued support of the community and for your commitment to our community.
Don Wagner, 3rd District Supervisors. Supervisors, apologies, I'm running a little bit late. Climbed out of the dental chair to be here today, so I won't speak long. But I did want to make sure I gave a shout out to all of our public health officials and all of our practitioners and everybody out in the community who is involved in public health as well. The importance has been highlighted by my colleagues. I won't go into it again. I will merely say, we are bringing online a new public health lab. We are investing in public health. We are giving tools to our public health professionals to do what they do so well, and that is take care of all of you. And so thank you all for being here. It is very important that we do this recognition today because of the work that they do, not today, but every day of the year for the people of Orange County.
Good morning, and thank you, Chair Chafee and the Honorable Board of Supervisors for this recognition of National Public Health Week. The theme for this year's celebratory week is, as I said, it starts here. Public health is the foundation of a healthy and thriving community and has been since the founding of the county in 1889, when the population of then 13,000 dealt with recurrent outbreaks of infectious diseases such as typhoid fever, diphtheria, smallpox, and tetanus. Responding, informing, and partnering to prevent illness and injury remains a core function to protect all and promote the well-being of the Orange County community. The healthcare agency public health workforce continues to make significant strides in improving health outcomes. Last year, the HCA Communicable Disease Control Division conducted nearly 600 outbreak investigations, and the Public Health Services clinics provided over 30,000 vaccines to children and vulnerable population, reducing the spread of infectious diseases. The community and nursing services team provided health management support for approximately 6,000 clients, and the health promotion team provided education for families and schools, equipping them with the tools to make healthy lifestyle decisions, including assisting over 9,000 families each month with nutritional benefits for the federal WIC program. Our prestigious public health laboratory processed over 158,000 specimens, giving healthcare providers diagnostic information for their patients, and our environmental health division with information on the safety of our recreational and drinking water. And speaking of environmental health, this team conducted over 42,000 field visits serving businesses, including restaurants, industrial facilities, body art studios, and waste sites, contributing to ensure that Orange County is a safe place to live, work, and travel. The success of these programs would not be possible without the strong collaboration and partnership with the healthcare system, community partners, and people that we serve. On behalf of HCA, I'd like to thank our dedicated public health workforce for their expertise and unwavering commitment to improving the lives of our county residents. We sincerely appreciate the board's continued support of our efforts, and we're grateful for the opportunity to build on our work and make a positive impact in the community. Happy Public Health Week.
Please bow your head. Heavenly Father, thank you for today. Thank you to our community, and thank you for the opportunity to serve you in our capacities. As we gather together as elected representatives of Orange County, we pray for humility, wisdom, and peace to reign in our hearts and minds. Please guide our thoughts and deliberation. Help us be the good stewards of our county government, and bless this time we have together. In your name we pray.
Thank you. If you would all join with me as we salute the symbol of this great nation. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Supervisors Nguyen and Wagner. There are a couple of reminders for today's meeting. Please use the main entrance when entering and leaving the room. All the other doors are alarmed and for emergency exit only. Please set all of your phones to mute or vibrate at this time and for the duration of the meeting. A listing of changes to today's agenda, along with agendas and requests to speak, are located in the lobby outside the boardroom. The board will be breaking for lunch around the noon hour, during which time we'll also recess to closed session. Parking validation for the P4 parking lot adjacent to the County Administration North Building is available. Please see the Deputy Clerk next to the podium to receive a parking validation card should you need one. We'll now proceed to the agenda for this morning's meeting. The agenda contains a brief description of each item to be considered, except as otherwise provided by law, such as in an emergency. No action may be taken on any item not appearing on the agenda. The agenda is divided into sections. All matters in the consent calendar, for example, are approved by one motion unless a board member or a member of the public has separate action on a specific item. If you wish to address the board, please complete a speaker request form located in the lobby outside the boardroom. Completed forms must be deposited in the box next to the podium prior to the beginning of the consent calendar, if you wish to speak at the consent calendar. And as to other items, you must present the speaker form before that other item is called. To ensure the smooth conduct of the meeting, it must be turned in advance. All right, speakers may address the board on up to 3 occasions with 3 minutes allotted to the speaker per occasion. When you're called to speak, please step to the podium. Please note the light on the podium. The green light means you have 3 minutes. Light changes to yellow when you have 1 minute, and a light turns to red when your time has expired. Ask that you observe the time limits so that all who wish to speak will have an opportunity to do so. Address the board, please address the board as a whole through the chair. At this time, I'd ask members of the Board of Supervisors, if you have any comment that you'd like to make on agenda or non-agenda items, or may ask questions or give directions to staff, or that no action may be taken on off-agenda items unless authorized by law. Do any board members wish to speak at this time? All right, I guess I get everybody's time again.
Actually, we both have.
Okay, would you like to say something?
Sure.
Supervisor Sarmiento, go ahead.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. And, I just want to simply say that we want to welcome Jamie Newton as our new Chief Human Resources Officer. So I know our former Human Resources Officer, Barnes, retired, so welcome aboard in that new role. Jamie, we certainly look forward to all your leadership and your continued work. I simply want to encourage you to make sure that you, I know, will be focused in on boosting staff morale and continuing to foster a positive culture across the county, workplace culture, especially as we know in some departments where we know staff and others are facing challenges. We know that you're going to take this on. It's important. This role has never been more critical to make sure that the environment and those who work with us, all 19,000 of the county family, feel your support. So please work with my office and all the offices here to share strategies on how you plan to implement those changes and that positive culture. And I look forward to supporting you as we work together to ensure a safe and a great place to work for our current and future employees here at the county. So welcome once again. You've been already here at the county, but welcome to your new role. We certainly look forward to working with you. We wish you much, much success. Thank you. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you, Supervisor. Supervisor Foley.
Thank you, and I'll echo my colleague in welcoming Ms. Newton. Thank you. But today we're following the news of the President's wide-ranging tariffs and the negative impacts it's having on the stock market, all the impacts we're having here at the county on the federal funding cuts, and to make it even worse, the state budget is highly reliant on the stock market and very vulnerable when it's in decline. We started today a tick up, but not really stabilized yet. The state is also reliant on sales tax, which fund public safety through Prop 172. The sales tax dollars across the state and of course for Orange County are down, and the economic downturn is likely to see those sales tax dollars for Prop 172 go down further. Members of the state legislature are ringing the alarm bells this week, saying that the governor's May revise will likely project a deficit, as opposed to what we were expecting, which was a tiny little small surplus that was projected in January. So we've already seen here, as we're building our budget at the County of Orange, some hits to our budget that are caused from these external factors at the state and federal government. And I think I join many in a bipartisan way to ask that the president reconsider his decision on tariffs so that our economy doesn't continue to tank. We are in the process of being forced to make painful decisions because of forces outside of our control. Last week, I went to Sacramento to advocate for state resources despite the economics. We identified that Prop 4, which was the climate bond, can actually really help our county, and those resources won't be, we hope, won't be diminished. So those are things that we can do for projects that we already have in the works. We've been working with our department heads to try to identify projects that are eligible, shovel ready, and that meet the requirements. I met with state parks to talk about what are some of the potential park projects that we could apply for grant funding through Prop 4, and have given that information to our county advocacy team and our department heads. While we face this economic downturn, we of course have to tighten our belt and do more with less, but we hope that we can start to draw down dollars from some of these pots that we don't usually identify. And I'll end by inviting everyone on our wellness walk. We do these wellness walks about once a month. It's an opportunity to get our bodies moving, but also to talk with members in the community. Our next walk is April 9th at 6 p.m. at Fashion Island. We'll meet at Restoration Hardware at the Ocean Grill entrance facing Newport Center Drive, and we hope that you can join us. To RSVP, please call 714-834-3550. Thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor Foley. 2 weeks ago, tragic incident occurred in Irvine. A 13-year-old boy died from a gunshot wound with an unsecured firearm found in a nightstand. It's heartbreaking and preventable loss underscores the importance of safe gun storage. So my office has created the Orange County Free Gun Lock Program to prevent tragedies like this by providing free, anonymous gun locks to all Orange County residents. Since February, we have distributed about 350 gun locks across cities and communities in the county. We can get requests more every day, and we stand ready to continue that program. We had a supply issue one time that has been resolved, so we have lots of gun locks to give out that are free. And I've asked that this be up on the board here so you can see how you can get a gun lock if you want one. So not only do they help farm owners comply with current law and prepare for SB 53, which is a new law which requires storage beginning in 2026 in a secure manner. So the information on how you can get a free gun lock is up on the board. Strongly encourage all firearm owners to take advantage of this simple, life-saving resource. And so I hope we can work together to keep our communities safe. That's the idea. And if there's nothing wrong with owning a gun, but please keep it safe. With that, we're now going to move to our CEO remarks, if any. No. Ask the clerk if there are any changes to the agenda.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The discussion calendar item 16 has been continued to April 22nd, 2025, 9:30 a.m. And under closed session, CS1 has been deleted. And the public has not requested to pull any items from the consent calendar this morning.
Well, thank you. With that, first let me ask if anyone wants to pull among my colleagues the consent calendar item. Okay, I see none, and it's already been moved and seconded. Any objection? Motion carries. At this point, I have a special request to move an item up next, which is supplement 26C, with a large number of speakers that would like to speak on this item. I know we have a 3-minute time limit, but because of the repetition that is likely to be among the speakers, I request that you try to keep your remarks at 1 minute if you may. You may take more time if you wish. With that, Madam Clerk, would you please call the speakers? I'll read the item and then call the speakers.
S26C, under Chair Chafee and Supervisor Nguyen, adopt a resolution urging U.S. Department of Justice to review and assess terms of plea agreement and sentencing recommendation for former Supervisor Andrew Huangdo, United States versus Andrew Huangdo, United States District Court, and authorize and direct County Council to send formal letter to Attorney General Pham Bondi requesting a review of the plea agreement and sentencing and advancement of DOJ's investigation into others involved. And Mr. Chairman, we have received 36 requests to speak on this item, and we do have an interpreter for the first 31 speakers. I will call 3 names at a time. If you could please line up in the center of the room behind the podium when your name is called. Fat Bui, Kui Wen, and Kui Von No.
Good morning, Chair Chafee, Vice Chair Foley, Supervisor Nguyen, Sarmiento, and Wagner's. My name is Pat Bui. I am the former City Councilman for the City of Garden Grove and an elected chairperson of the Vietnamese community, Vietnamese American Federation of Southern California in 2015, 2018, and 2021. Today I would like to talk to you, but first, before my speech about the item 26, I would like to express our appreciation for the Black April resolution. The way the Board of Supervisors given us that resolution deeply touches us. 50 years ago, we came here to the United States, and the American people have shown us the kindness and given us a second chance in life. And afterward, we have 5 generals in the U.S. armies, countless of other contributions to the United States of America. But unfortunately, some of us have been bad and betrayed the communities, betrayed the publics. That is former Supervisor Andrew Doe. Andrew Doe had embezzled tens of millions of dollars in public funds that was targeted to help the seniors and the disadvantaged people in our district number 1. But not only that, we have heard many rumors that there are many other wrongdoings. For example, the fund to help the small business, we believe that there are a lot of misuse in that area that we hope the Board of Supervisors will look into that matters. And finally, we believe that Mr. Andrew Doe and his associate and his family member have received a lot of money from this from our public fund, and no one should be above the law. We urge the Board of Supervisors to write to Attorney General Bondi and the Department of Justice to seriously follow, and he should not be given any lenience and should be held fully to the laws. And we hope that the money that the board recover from this misuse will be reused for District 1, because that is where it was supposed to be targeted. Thank you so much and have a good evening. Good day.
The next speaker, please.
Good morning. My name is Nguyên, and I'm speaking here as a senior Vietnamese American citizen who's retired. So, on the subject of Mr. Doe's scandal, my first impression, I'd like to say to Supervisor Katrina that you impressed me when I saw it on TV of your indignation about this whole episode. I came here as a student, very ideal. Stay in Santa Barbara for 20 years and moved back here 23 or 24 years now. And when this happened, I was shocked, right? I was shocked because as an American citizen, I really value the principle that our forefather had set out, and that is the public servant is served, not corrupt. And I think I would like to thank all of the service you have served, and certainly what happened really is a shock to you folks, and it stained the whole issue of government. And the sentences that they agreed, I believe, has not been severe enough to prevent further incidents like that. So I'm here to say that we should look at the agreement. There is something that's not quite right, and to prevent further incident like that for the future generation. One thing that I was thinking is that when a person go to the bank and rob it, successful, next time he's going to go back and do the same. The third time he will be caught. And I think this case might be like that. In other words, it's probably not the first time. Thank you.
Thank you. May we have the next speaker, please?
After Clea Von No, the next 3 speakers are Key Von Phan, Richard Bowie, and Tat Lon Din.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Gui Van No and my group. It's a very great honor to be here, to be attending the Orange County Supervisor meeting. Since we are here, I would like to urge the Board of Supervisors demonstration the true leadership by voting yes on supplemental item S26C. Former Supervisor Andrew Joe action betrayed the very foundation of the public service. The proposed big deal does not reflect the harm done. It's time to prove that integrity in office still matters in Orange County. I want to thank Chairman Sheffy and Supervisor Janet Nguyen for bringing this important matter to this attention to the public. I pray the rest of the board agree and stand on the right side of history. Please vote yes on S26C. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. May we have the next speaker, please?
Xin chào bốn vị giám sát trong hội đồng giám sát. Tôi Phan Kỳ Nhân, cư dân của Orange County.
Translation.
Yeah.
They need translation services.
Good morning, the Board of Supervisors. My name is
Phan Kỳ Nhân.
Phan Kỳ Nhân.
Yeah. Hôm nay chúng tôi rất hân hạnh có mặt trong cái buổi mà cấp bằng tưởng niệm tháng tư đen. Đây là một việc làm hết sức. Tuy rằng các bằng nó chỉ có hình thức trên giấy tờ, nhưng mà việc làm này nó thể hiện được cái sự quan tâm của Hội đồng Giám sát đối với cư dân của thành phố OC.
It's such an honor to be here today, and I wanted to thank the Board of Supervisors to celebrate the Black April Memorial. Even though it was just even though it's just
Mr. Chairman, let me help out. Even though it's just an honor here and it looks just on a piece of paper, however, it means a lot and it shows the concerns and support of the Board of Supervisors.
Cái sự quan tâm của Hội đồng Giám sát đối với cư dân của OC thì chúng tôi rất hoan nghênh cái tinh thần này. Nhưng xét về quá khứ, có người đã làm quen ố cái thành phố OC. Do đó ngày hôm nay chúng tôi có mặt ở đây đưa lên cái tâm tư với một người dân cư ngụ trong thành phố. Chúng tôi thứ nhất, những người còn hiện tại trong hội đồng giám sát xin hãy cung cấp đầy đủ dữ kiện để mà đưa Andrew đổ cho luật pháp trừng trị theo hiện hành. Đó là điều mong ước của cư dân của OC. Và chúng tôi cũng yêu cầu làm thế nào để thu hồi những mất mát của thành phố, để lấy cái tài sản đó trở về để mà sử dụng vào việc công ích cho toàn dân trong thành phố.
So somebody already made the dirty act in Orange County, and we would like to respectfully request the Board of Supervisors provide us more information about the Andrew crime and to collect restitution for the community. This is a big loss to the community.
Let me add to that as well. He also stated that, you know, the concerns...
Mr. Chairman, point of order. We've got a certified translator. We pay good money for the translator. The proponent of the rezo is interpreting speakers in support of the rezo. And I am not entirely sure, given the circumstances, that is appropriate.
Well, okay, we'll let the interpreter, if you don't mind, present. And if we could move along, I think there's going to be a lot of repetition in what people are remarking about. Let's see if we can wrap it up as rapidly.
Mr. Chairman, if I may ask the interpreter, if you can maybe write down what they say and not just summarize what he stated, because some of the words he used, I think it's important for the board to know how grateful he is to be here and for their work in the community. He stated that several times, and you just summarized and used words that weren't even, wasn't correctly translated. And so while I respect my colleague and his comments, I understand that this is not about the rezo for me. This is about making sure that translation is correct. Now, if you ask me to translate from English to Vietnamese, I might be the one who's struggling. But from Vietnamese to English, I can do a fairly good job. But if you can, Madam Translator, is to making sure that you do emphasize the words that he wants the board to understand and not just summarize it.
Instruct him to stick in small sentences. I can wrap all the information. Chứ phải nói từng câu ngắn, rồi chứ để cho dịch xong rồi chứ nói tiếp, tại cháu không thể nhớ hết được. Okay, chứ nói
tiếp. Hôm nay chúng tôi đưa lên cái ý kiến như thế này. Thứ nhất là chúng tôi rất cảm ơn các vị trong hội đồng giám sát đồng cảm với nỗi đau khổ của người Việt tị nạn cộng sản sau 50 năm.
So I would like to talk about my opinion. First of all, we would like to thank the board of supervisors that are showing sympathy for the Vietnamese refugee after 50 years.
Và cái sự trân trọng của chúng tôi là thỉnh cầu quý vị làm thế nào để lấy lại cái sự trong sáng của cái Orange County này bằng
Next, we would like to respectfully request that the board of supervisors to get back the transparency, the cleanness of this Orange County.
Dù muốn dù không, từ việc làm của anh Thu Đỗ cũng là làm mất danh dự của cộng đồng người Việt tị nạn cộng sản của chúng tôi.
No matter what, the act of Andrew Đỗ caused a bad reputation into our Vietnamese refugee.
Do đó chúng tôi yêu cầu quý vị làm thế nào để lấy lại cái sự trong sáng này bằng hành động và việc làm của mình trong tương lai.
Therefore, we respectfully request you to take the action to get back the transparency and cleanliness of the Vietnamese refugee now and for the future.
Một lần nữa chúng tôi cảm ơn quý vị đã đồng cảm với sự đau thương, mất mát của dân tộc miền Nam sau 50 năm trôi qua.
Once again, I would like to appreciate and thank you for your sympathy and empathy to the Vietnamese refugee, Southern Vietnamese in the last 50 years.
Xin cảm ơn quý vị và đặc biệt là cảm ơn Janet Nguyễn, xứng đáng là một hậu vệ của quân lực Việt Nam Cộng Hòa. Xin trân trọng kính chào quý vị.
Thank you so much, and especially thank you to Miss Janet Nguyen. She well deserved to be descendant of the Southern Vietnamese refugee.
Thank you, sir. We have more than 30 speakers yet requested to speak on this item, but ask if you would be a little bit courteous and if you can keep your remarks short and to the point, that would be appreciated. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, can I just mention that in Vietnamese so the other folks can hear that? Can I just say what you said in Vietnamese so they can understand it? Thưa quý vị, có hơn 30 người đã ghi danh để phát biểu bên này. Xin quý vị giúp cho hội đồng giám sát phát biểu dưới 1 phút nha. Đừng có phát biểu hơn cái đó nữa. Cảm ơn quý vị. Cái đó là trong cái item này không có là tới 30 người lận. Xin quý vị giúp cho hội đồng giám sát và giúp cho Janet luôn.
Good morning, boss, other supervisors. My name is Richard Bui, the CEO of Central Coordination Republic of Vietnam Armed Force in southwestern USA. I am leaving Gun Road to urge the board vote yes on supplemental item S46C. Former supervisor, though, deserves to pay for his crime against the people of Orange County. Even the severity of his crime, he currently leads agreement capping his sentence to up to 5 years is too light. And you know, to advantage of police level, senior and members of his own community who is sworn to serve, he betrayed the trust of everyone. And today, the board has opportunity to send a strong statement to corruption is not to be tolerated, and that anyone connected to this action are to be punished to the fullest extent to the law. On top, the worst of COVID-19 pandemic is behind us. The pain is still remains. Over 8,000 Orange County residents died of disease, and his scandal and shameful chapter in that story. I urge the board supervisor to send a formal letter to the DOJ to review the police agreement to sentence of Andrew Doe, and please vote yes for this item. And thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. May I have the next speaker, please?
After Thật Din, the next 3 speakers are Huy Hon Pham, Muay Thai, and Lan Pham.
Hello, my name is Lan Pham. I'm a founder and executive at the University of Orange County, which was incorporated as a 501c3 non-profit organization in 1979. Our organization used to support Vietnamese refugees since 1975. Yet today I'm here to support the resolution. Yeah, because we need the transparency, and we need the money back to the Orange County, and we need an apologization, and nobody gave any apologization. Thank you.
Thank you. Supervisor Nguyen.
Mr. Chairman, I was wondering, given the time, I don't think we need the translator. This would be on video, and we can ask the translator, maybe transcribe it later and send it up to the board. But I just out of respect to the board and the time, I think we can just allow the folks to speak in Vietnamese, but not have the translated because it goes back and forth. It takes twice the amount of time, and that way we can move forward and faster.
Well, let's move forward. Some speakers don't need a translator, so let's see where we go.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, but again, ask, because there's so many that want to speak, if you'd limit your remarks and be very short and to the point, that'd be great. Thank you. May we have the next speaker, please?
Tên là Mười Thái, sống ở Garden Road.
My name is Mười Thái. I'm living in Garden Road.
Xin thưa quý vị giám sát viên trong hội đồng giám sát vùng Cam.
Good morning, the board of supervisors of the Orange County.
Trong một hết 26C trong chương trình nghị sự hôm nay rất quan trọng vì nó đòi hỏi phải xem xét lại một thỏa thuận mà nhiều người trong cộng đồng của chúng tôi cảm thấy rất là bất công.
The section S260 of the meeting today is very important because it's required that we need to reconsider the agreement that most of the people in the community think that's very unfair and injustice.
Tôi ủng hộ bà giám sát viên Niệm và ông giám sát viên Savi trong việc yêu cầu Bộ Tư pháp xem xét lại điều tra thêm về việc ông cựu giám sát viên Enrico.
I support Madam Supervisor Janet Nguyên and Mr. Supervisor Dr. Jaffe in the matters of requesting the Department of Justice to reconsider and further investigate regarding to the former supervisor Andrew the old matters.
Đã đến lúc chứng minh rằng tham nhũng của công sẽ không được dung thứ hoặc bỏ qua.
It's time to demonstrate that the briberies in the community would not be forgiven and would not be something that we can be lenient on.
Xin cảm ơn quý vị.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. May we have the next speaker, please?
Call the next three speakers. Tien Van Nguyen, Lim Tan Phan, and Phong Din. The next three speakers, Hugh Vu, Chao Lam, and Ham Nguyen.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Such an honor to be here. My name is Lim Phan. I'm here to urge the board to vote yes on the supplemental item S46C. A former supervisor, Andrew, must be held fully accountable for his action. This wasn't the case of a poor judgment or a simple mistake. This was a deliberate abuse of the public trust. He stole the public funds, money meant to be for the people of Orange County, and redirect those funds to benefit his own family and close associates. He abused his authority, and in my opinion, his punishment does not fit the crime. The board now has a critical opportunity to send a clear message. The corruption has consequences. A vote in favor of the item S26C is a vote in favor of accountability, integrity, and justice. It says to public, to future leaders, and to those who are in office now, that Orange County does not tolerate the misuse of power for the personal enrichment. Please, don't let this moment pass without action. The people of Orange County deserve better. I urge a yes vote for item S26C. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Next speaker, please.
Next three speakers, Soon Yim, Bat William, and Deep Ngao Kao.
Do I have 3 minutes or 1 minute, please? 3 minutes, thank you. My name is James Su from Huntington Beach, the board of supervisor of Orange County. Today we gather here not only to remember Black April, come on, a day that marked the fall of South Vietnam as we know of. And today, we also have to face a more personal betrayal. A betrayal from one of our community, former supervisor Andrew Do. Today, that man faces serious accusation. The stealing, the embezzlement of $1 million from COVID-19 refund. It is a betrayal of the trust we once placed on him. But April is not just a day of remembrance. It's a reminder of what we stand for, the justice, integrity, and sacrifice. If we remain silent, we fail those who died for these values. If we tolerate corruption, we dishonor the legacy we promise to carry forward. So I say today to you all, please speak up. Hold Andrew Do accountable. Only when justice is served can our community truly stand tall with honor, with dignity, and with pride. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Will you call the next speaker, please?
The next three speakers, Con Pham, Tina Tam, and Tina Vo. The next three speakers, Long Nguyen, Cindy Chung Nguyen, and Mai Luong.
Kính thưa quý vị trong hội đồng giám sát quận Cam, tôi tên là Trung Nguyễn và tôi sống ở quận Cam. Hôm nay,
Good morning, for Supervisor Orange County.
Hôm nay tôi đến đây ủng hộ mục ở 26C.
Today I come here to support section S226C.
Này vì nó thúc đẩy đầy tính minh bạch và trách nhiệm của giới lãnh đạo và dân cử.
Because it promote the transparency and responsibility of the governors and leaders and candidates.
Chúng tôi yêu cầu Bộ Tư pháp xem xét lại vụ án tham nhũng của ông NGUYệu N.
We would like to request the board on the Department of Justice to review the crimes, the corruption and bribery runs of Mr. NGUYệu N.
Và đây là điều đúng đắn mà quý vị cần phải làm.
And that's the right thing that you need to do.
Và tôi kêu gọi Hội đồng Giám sát phê duyệt điều này ngay hôm nay.
I would like to request the Board of Supervisors approve this decision today.
Chúng ta không thể phát triển một cộng đồng lành mạnh nếu chúng ta không giải quyết trực tiếp. Và những vấn đề tham nhũng này của ông Dình Ổ và số tiền $5 triệu.
We cannot develop a good community and clean community if we did not resolve these corruption matters. And with the bribery, with the amount of money up to $5 million.
Thank you so much, các quý vị.
Thank
Hôm
you.
nay và các con của bác bữa nay tham dự buổi lễ này.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Good morning, good evening. My name is Mylon. I'm from Garden Grove, and I came here to support for the CS26C. And I request the law have to be do the right and strong and the right for and do the whole. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Can we call the next speaker, please?
NGUYN, Hao Nguyen, and Tân Chuan.
Yeah, good morning, my supervisor, all supervisors. My name is John Blanc from the VCAL TV and SET TV. I have for many times interviewed Foley, Mr. Vicente, and Johnny Niệm. The reason I become here today, my audience sent a message to me regarding three things. And first of all, the memorial war has been spent $1 million, for the tax money. What's going on now? We want to hear your voice regarding about what happened in the Montreal Park. It looks like the garbage now. As a pup, after 50 years, 58,000 American troops have been sacrificed their lives there. And now, and you don't use about $1 million to build a memorial wall. And right now, if you have a chance, come in to see is what's going on about there. And I hope the board make a decision as soon as possible regarding about $1 million has been spent for that issue. And second thing, I want to bring up the issue on the 31st March, the sentencing day had been issued. I don't know which the reason had been delayed to the 9th or the 6th of June. The reason, they're bringing up the issue for $500,000 has been stolen by NGUYO. It's not correct. $1 million, over $13 million and $10 million has to be due for the people have no money, no food to eat in the COVID time. I think now is the time to review the case. I hear, the information, from the Sacramento regarding the, state attorney. They are follow up what's going on about the money has been stolen by NGUYO. The people, go into markets, in supermarkets, steal maybe one item. He may stay for 1 year in jail. And NGUYO, he cooperated with his daughter, and the people surround him, the VAS, something like that, and steal money, dollar to dollar, and $1 million. It's unbelievable if he only spend about 1 year in the jail, and go back and have a bottle of whiskey, and with $1 million, and spend it. It's very unfair to the people of Orange County. And I hope you make a decision today for real thing, and send this case strongly to Madame Pondi, for we can review the case. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Next three speakers, Deep Lee, Sue Cao, and Dr. Anthony Nguyen. Next three speakers are Paul Hayek, Luann Nichols-Shoup, and Ann Palmer.
As far as Doe goes, I'm from Anaheim, and he made sure that the homeless didn't get in because he made them all no walk-ins. Huntington Beach, Anaheim, Buena Park, Santa Ana, and he should be facing murder charges of 380 counts because he wouldn't let even on the winter shelters, be walk-ins. And as far as item 25 goes, I'm going to say it at this time, because I have other things to do. Let them hire those that come through the door to have the trades to help run the shelters. Make sure they get a breakfast, a bed, a dinner. If they have trades, hire them in those trades to help in the shelter. Give them a hot lunch and minimum wage. Let's get these homeless off the street and get them to where they can walk in. Winter shelters, if they've got the stuff but they need help,
Sir, thank you. You're off
ask
the
them
topic.
to help out. The homeless will be glad to help.
Luann Nichols-Shoup and Ann Palmer.
There are only 3 things I have to do in my life: die and pay taxes. If I don't pay my taxes, I go to jail. Yet Mr. Andrew Doe has stolen over $10 million from our county, taxpayers' money, and thinks that it is reprehensible that he should do more than 5 years prison time. I think it is reprehensible that Andrew Doe should get special treatment with a sentence of only 5 years time in prison. These funds were meant to feed seniors during the COVID, but instead the money was used to help buy houses for his daughter and his allies. That is reprehensible. To bring a basic perspective to the thievery, imagine all those single moms trying to make ends meet from paycheck to paycheck, paying taxes, only to have it stolen by Andrew Doe. Or fathers working 2 jobs trying to provide for their family, paying taxes, only to have it stolen by Andrew Doe. That is reprehensible. And I could go on. It is no wonder that people do not trust the government. I ask that our county authorities do a more thorough investigation of Andrew Doe's scam and prosecute all involved and extend Andrew Doe's prison time. Thank you very much.
Hi, I support the recommendation by Chairman Chaffee and Supervisor Janet Wynn. I moved to Huntington Beach over 3 decades ago in the midst of ongoing investigations regarding governance and financial scandals in Orange County. Having lived in LA County and gone to college in the Chicago area, I fully expected those investigations to fizzle out and the likely perpetrators and bad faith players to sidle off into high-end private sector jobs or positions in other government organizations. I followed along as scandals were revealed, and as in 1994, Orange County went bankrupt. Government had failed, yet it was beyond impressive the web of deceit that was made public and the subsequent efforts to prevent any recurrences. Again, I support the recommendation. The extent of incarceration for Andrew Doe is well below what is warranted and precedented, but it is a fallout from the network of financial misbehavior and deception that is critical to ensuring the future health of government and public economic security, in my opinion. Every dollar that is misplaced for fraudulent reasons is support the deserving entity or person is not receiving. Every inappropriate political appointment and unlawful transfer of funds severely undermines public trust in the efficacy of appropriate government operations. Please take this matter seriously. Thank you.
Thank you.
The last 2 speakers are Jean Harris and Court Chaplain Vu.
Thank you, Board of Supervisors. I'm very happy to be here, and I have to say I'm very impressed with all of the comments that were made earlier today by this community. And I'm just here to strongly support Supervisor Janet Wynn and Supervisor Chaffee to speak out for a longer sentence for Andrew Doe. This is just unacceptable what he did with these funds. It's reprehensible. I just want to thank you and continue the investigation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Board of Supervisors, Chairman, and to the Vietnamese community and
Vietnam Armed Forces veterans here today. I stand before you as a court chaplain and proudly on behalf of my father, Vu Van Theo, a Republic of Vietnam Armed Forces veteran. This month marks 50 years since Black April, a time of loss, sacrifice, and rebuilding. The Vietnamese community has placed deep trust in this county, and the trust must be honored. Item S26C, calling for DOJ review of Andrew Doe's plea deal, must not be used to quietly shift blame or bury broader accountability. Because of Doe's action, it proven it's not just his name that suffers, it affects our youth, those who wish to study law or serve with integrity and now must carry the shadow of his action, of his decision. In Vietnamese culture, we don't just protect our reputation, we protect our family legacy. Under item under S26D, this board is moving to extend $125 million in contracts, many without competition or oversight. That cannot be separated from this conversation. Do not deflect, do not dishonor, and do not allow one man's failure to stain a whole community. This is Black April. We remember, we stand, and we protect our name with truth. Thank you.
Next other speakers, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I'm going to come back to the board here for comments. Supervisor Nguyen, thank you for inviting me to join with you. I'd like to hear your remarks.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And first, I want to thank you for navigating and allowing the speaker to have the appropriate time and for your patience and also for bringing the item forward. I also want to thank my colleagues for your patience today as well. Just so you know, most of these individuals here today, it's their first time at the Board of Supervisors meeting. And so it means a lot to me because it's like a lot of folks have in the past never gone to Sacramento until when I was there. They took a 24-hour trip just to go to Sacramento to see how Sacramento works. And so I appreciate them coming all the way and taking their time, whether from work or from their family, to be here as well. And so we appreciate that. Mr. Chairman and colleagues, today I bring forward this resolution with the chairman for the integrity of our justice system and the trust our residents place in it is on the line. This is not about political retribution or politics. It is about fairness and justice. It is about accountability, and it's about ensuring that public officials are held to the highest standard, if not to the same standard, if not higher than everyone else. Since Andrew Doe's plea agreement became public last October, the community has been very outspoken in their concerns to my office, to at events I'm at, coming up to me. Residents, leaders, and victims of the pandemic have repeatedly asked why this case is being treated with such leniency. They're asking, how can someone steal over $10 million in COVID relief, accepting over $700,000 in bribes, and only facing up to, not 5 years, it's up to 5 years in prison? In other words, people are saying this: if he were to serve, let's say 5 years, that's $2 million per year. Most Americans would never make $2 million a year in their lifetime. So it shows that in this crime, it pays. It pays big time. Why not? Why does someone like Andrew Doe gets to go away and just serve the 5 years, up to 5 years? We don't know what that will be. After careful review, it's clear that this plea agreement does not reflect the gravity of the crime, and it absolutely does not send the right message about accountability. There are 3 glaring issues about the plea agreement that I want to point out, all in combined warrants a reassessment of the case. First, the agreement does not allow additional charges involving other organizations that may have played a role. Second, it foregoes a number of charges the DOJ did not even bother to pursue. And third, the lack of progress in the investigation till this day, almost 6 months into the affiliated parties, raises serious concerns. I want to address some of those. One, as mentioned, the additional charges involve other organizations that may have played a role. Since the plea agreement was released months ago, more information has surfaced, including the names of other organizations with ties to Andrew Doe that are appearing in the county audits. Yet those entities were not included in the DOJ's charging documents. If the deal stands, it prevents further charges for crimes connected to the same facts, no matter what else the county uncovered. 2, the potential charge the DOJ did not pursue. Now let's turn to those charges, okay? Let's be clear, the DOJ had evidence to pursue numerous serious charges, but instead, exchanged for a speedy and corroborative deal, they agreed not to charge Doe with these more serious crimes. Here are the list. They can charge him for bribery of public official, prohibits public official from accepting bribes in exchange for influencing official action. It warrants up to 15 years. Conspiracy to defraud the United States. Agreement between 2 or more people to defraud the United States, the federal government, up to 5 years. Theft or bribery concerning programs receiving federal funds, up to 10 years. False statements to financial institutions, up to 30 years. Identity theft, up to two years consecutive. Mail fraud, up to 20 years. Wire fraud, up to 20 years. Attempt or conspiracy to commit fraud, up to 10 years. Money laundering, we know that occurred. It's even in the court document of over $700,000, up to 20 years. Engaging in monetary transaction in criminally derived property. We know that occurred because their property bought with the COVID money, up to 10 years. Instead, they settle with a single count of conspiracy to commit bribery concerning programs receiving federal funds. If you notice, many of these charges that I just stated carry sentences of 10 years or more. The commission to bribery concerning programs receiving federal fund has a maximum of 10 years. Doe was just charged with conspiracy, an agreement to commit bribery. A public official accepting a bribe faces 15 years. Yet Doe committed all of these acts and only faces up to 5 years. Why rush to accept a guilty plea to one lesser charge when there was clear evidence to pursue more? Was the goal efficiency or accountability? Regardless, the perception is pure leniency. And to get more context, here's similar federal fraud cases. And it's on the agenda, and I'm just going to really briefly mention it. A private citizen stole $9.6 million COVID relief. He received 10 years. Another private citizen received false claim to operate a church and stole $4.2 million in SBA loans. 94 months, nearly 8 years for fraud and money laundering. A private citizen from Orange County scammed, claiming that he has access to COVID medical gloves. He defrauded them of $3 million and received a sentence of 87 months. A former deputy mayor of Los Angeles facilitating over $1 million in bribes, just $1 million. He received 12 years in prison. A former mayor of Linwood funded $2.5 million in city funds through a fake consulting firm. Andrew Doe, it's in the court document. He did that and more. And this former mayor received 16 years in federal prison. If you compare it to Andrew, over $10,700,000 in bribes, maximum sentence of 5 years. And unlike most of these others, he was a sitting public official, not just a private citizen. If we don't hold public official to a higher standard, we undermine the public's trust. So I'm asking us, this is not an overreach. This is not an overreach, it's an oversight. We are not telling the DOJ what to do. We are urging them to reassess whether this agreement upholds justice. We are asking them to finish what they started I believe a public statement from this board does not interfere with a federal case. It reflects the voice of our constituent and their right to demand answers. This resolution is not political. It is about public integrity, public trust. We want people to trust the government, the county again. We cannot look the other way when serious crimes are met with soft consequences. We owe it to the victims, particularly in the 1st District. With a $10 million for COVID meal program, only 15% of that actually went to meals. 1.4 million actually went to meals. The rest was squandered. So I believe we owe it to the public, and I ask my colleague to support the item, and I respectfully ask for your support.
Thank you, Supervisor Wagner. Supervisor Sarmiento.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. Let me begin by thanking those who came to speak and attend and show support for the resolution. I certainly empathize with you and am just as offended by you, by what we see was the upper range of the proposed plea deal. I also want to thank the Chair and Supervisor Nguyen. I know before Supervisor Nguyen got to the board, she was one of the most vocal voices calling for justice because she knew intimately what had been done to her community and our community here in Orange County. What we witnessed was something that was playing out in plain view. So I know I was one of the loudest voices here on this board to urge the prosecution of Mr. Doe. One of the first voices to ask that he resign, one of the first voices to strip him of his appointments, to censure him, and to continue this investigation because we know Mr. Doe didn't act alone. So I do certainly agree and I'm frustrated by the fact that there hasn't been more investigation into the network of other offenders and violators of the law. I do want to say, I'm glad that the case of Jose Huizar was brought up. He's a city council member, one city council member in the city of Los Angeles and received 13 years for abusing his office. That is certainly proportionate to what harm he did, but 5 years on the upper end of the range here is something that I feel is very, very low, in my opinion. Something that I was disappointed with. I have tremendous respect for the U.S. attorney that handled this matter, Martin Estrada, who no longer is with the Department of Justice. But Martin is a person of integrity. He's actually a person who was born and raised here in Santa Ana. And he prosecuted many cases, including the Jose Huizar case where Jose received 13 years. One of the things I know that we have to understand is that our role as a legislative body is something that's limited to legislation. And for us to veer off into questioning what the judiciary does is something that does concern me. And I want to make sure that we understand whether or not that's something that we can do. So I was going to ask our county council if he could tell us if a board has ever presented and adopted a resolution such as this, basically telling a prosecutorial body, whether it's the district attorney, whether it's the attorney general, whether it's the Department of Justice, to change its plea agreement with a defendant.
Thank you, Supervisor Sarmiento. And I did a search of the county's agenda search engine, and I looked for the kind of terms that are in this resolution, like, for example, Department of Justice or sentencing. I found nothing in that system, so nothing that has been on the board agenda for the last 20 or so years. The closest example I found was about 10 years ago. The board at that time was outraged by a light sentence that had been handed down by the court, Judge Mark Kelly, to a child molester. And the board members were outraged by that and passed a resolution condemning that light sentence. That's the closest analogy I've been able to find.
Yeah. Thank you for that. I don't think we're prohibited from doing or introducing a resolution like this for consideration, but it's certainly irregular, it sounds like. In history of this board, we haven't done something like this. I certainly, as a lawyer, and I think it's been mentioned before, we understand our lanes, right? And I know that prosecutorial discretion is based upon the facts and based upon a charge that we can not only make, but that we can prove as prosecutors. I certainly was on the other end of it as a public defender, so I've certainly seen many prosecutors overcharge and be too zealous in their action. But when it comes to federal issues, there does have to be almost, a respect that we have to have as a legislative body. My concern with this is that we are overstepping where our role is. I certainly think that we are as offended as both sponsors of this and of the community, and their concern with what's been done and the possible light sentence that Mr. Doe will receive. I'm just as offended by former Mayor Harry Sadu, who just got 2 months for his corruption actions in the city of Anaheim. I don't know if we are now going to weigh in on those charges, weigh in on those sentences, because I'm just as offended, and I receive calls from people in Anaheim all the time saying that how could a mayor abuse his authority so much that he's only going to receive 2 months as a sentence. So I don't know if this is a slippery slope that we now start questioning not only charges, plea agreements, sentencing, and if we do, then we should really think about this long and hard. So I am, my goal was going to be to draft a letter, send an amicus brief to the court when it comes to sentencing, explaining why I think Mr. Doe should receive the upper end of that range, that 5-year range. That's where I feel it's appropriate to opine. I think an amicus brief is something that's been done. It's something that this board has done in the past, and that's certainly what I was going to do as an individual supervisor here who saw the criminal actions of Mr. Doe play out in front of us. And I remember the question that I asked to this board and to the public, and it was more rhetorical. Is there corruption in Orange County? There certainly was, and we certainly see that it was done in plain view of us. Fortunately, we continue to push on this issue, and Mr. Doe is now no longer on this board. He is going to be sentenced. I do think what's novel here, though, is the information that's since revealed about these text messages. I do think that that's something that should be considered by the Department of Justice, because I do think that is new information that could impact whether or not that plea deal was done in full, with full context of the information that he had. Nonetheless, I am having some difficulties, again, as a legislative body interfering with the judicial branch, and it seems to me the supremacy clause, the separation of powers, just basically staying in our lanes makes it very difficult for me just to see how we can support this with this instrument, with this resolution. I know it's not binding. It's something that really represents the spirit of what we believe, which is saying that we believe that this plea and this potential low sentence is something that's offensive to the community. I completely agree with the spirit of the resolution. There is no doubt that I believe Mr. Doe should have had a proportionate sentence relative to what he committed. $10 million from some of the poorest people in our county who needed it during a time of pandemic is something that should be much, much higher. Unfortunately, I don't know what evidence the prosecution had. The prosecution didn't even name Mr. Doe in the complaint, and that troubles me as well. I know that he was not a named defendant. So a lot of that information that probably came to pass when they were deliberating on this and negotiating this plea deal is something that I didn't have access to. But I do certainly support the spirit, the effort of letting the prosecution know, the court know how outraged we are with the conduct that he committed on the people of Orange County, and especially those that counted on him the most. So I am consider listening a little bit more, but that's, Mr. Chair, where I am.
Thank you, Supervisor. We'll go around again, but I think I need to weigh in at this point. I share Supervisor Wagner's personal disappointment in the fact that, yes, we were lied to. And that is a bit of my motivation that has changed from where it was in the beginning. I feel like I've been a little bit used in the process by Supervisor Doe. I would, though, like to compliment Andrew Doe's lawyer for coming up and providing us with information about the emails. That shows me the lawyer had a lot of integrity to do that. And also he did a pretty good job for his client, I would say, from the way the plea deal worked out. I don't know at what point he became aware of the emails, but at least one thing in Andrew Doe's favor, he would have known if Andrew didn't tell him about those emails. So there's a lot been said about evidence, and that's somewhat why I support the matter before us. It needs to be looked at. I don't know that we change necessarily the plea deal, but it does stir things up. It does get things looked at more, and I've been disappointed when I see the slow process when others who were perpetrators or received the benefit are not being prosecuted or held responsible for their actions. Also, I think it not only expresses a disappointment for the board, but it speaks to the desire to have integrity and openness and transparency. There's a spirit here we need to live by. And so I think that's part of what's embodied in this resolution. And I really appreciate hearing from the Vietnamese community, for them coming out. No one more than the Vietnamese community is offended by the conduct of Andrew Doe. That just is so clear to me, and I think that's why they're here to speak in favor of this resolution. I was a bit shocked when I saw the actual sentence that Harry Sidhu received. His plea deal allowed for a greater sentence, yet he didn't get it. That kind of jolted me a little bit. Well, what if the plea deal that Andrew Doe has, it comes in so much less than what could be the result? That kind of motivated me too to join here with Supervisor Nguyen. And so the process has been slow, and yeah, the wheels of justice do turn slowly, but I think this investigation needs to be complete, thorough, so we get it behind us and we know what actually it was. And this is, I don't intend to upset the plea deal made, but I do want to say things looked at that are surrounded, and why is it moving so slowly? And that's sort of my motivation here in supporting this item. So I just want things cleaned up, looked at more thoroughly. We do have a new administration in the Department of Justice. We'll see what they think. This gives them an opportunity to weigh in, and that's my motivation here. And so if I go back to Supervisor Nguyen.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to first, I'm willing to add to the resolutions, the cases that Vice Chairwoman mentioned, the few of those cases. Just wanted to address something. I want to go back to the item itself. The item here states is to review and reassess the terms. Review and reassess. It never said that we were interfering. It never says that we know more information or that we were privileged to any documents or any investigation. There's a new justice in the federal government. President Trump has numerous times mentioned that he wants one justice system. And this is an opportunity for us to ask the DOJ to review and reassess. And that also includes, as the chairwoman mentioned, the issues on the emails. No one on this board has gotten a county staff to put in a code to put their personal email address so that they can secretly receive emails forwarded to their personal emails. No one on this board. I served on this board back then. I don't remember any of us doing that. I didn't do it. I don't understand, you know, how it's allowed, how he's able to manipulate a staff or individuals in this county to be able to pull that off. And so it continues to the mindset that he's not remorseful. He continues to allow and want, and it's just that for him, it's unfortunate he got caught. And so, again, you know, yes, I know we are a government body, but we are the government body that got cheated. We're just not just a government body who can't have a voice. We take positions on many things. You know, we put things on the agenda, whether it's you know, bills that we take, you know, we weigh in on in Sacramento or in Washington, D.C. We weigh on issues as well in the community. You know, if we don't ask for them to reassess, we're not doing our duties as representing the 3.2 million people in Orange County. In particular for me, I still stand by the fact that we should ask them to relook at it. You have a new U.S. attorney in LA, just got sworn in last week. There's so many movements and so many things that's going on in DC that a lot of the cases in DC are being reassessed or being relooked at. You know, this one particularly hits home because it's in our backyard. It's in our community. We can sit here and say that we agree that he did bad things, but if we don't stand up and think outside the box and at least call attention to what is wrong and at least ask them to reassess and reevaluate the case, then we're not doing our job and we're not allowing it to be, and we're allowing it to be. In the end game, if we allow the end game to be what it is today, it will be up to 5 years. We didn't say a word. And I'm not a lawyer. I'm the only one on this dais that isn't a lawyer. I don't get to go and write you know, briefs, speakers' briefs. The public doesn't either. You know, it's okay. I believe strongly because this hit home. This happened in our house. We have the right to send a voice to say, hey, DOJ, while we appreciate what you looked into, we want you to reconsider it and reassess it and relook at all the evidence, including new ones as well. I know that also in the court, I wouldn't be surprised when the hearing is there, there'll be victims at that court hearing to voice their concerns. And the victims, who are they? They're Orange County residents. We are the victims of it. My district is the victims of it. And so we have that right and we should be able to exercise it. And yeah, we should do it before the sentencing. So that gives them time. If they choose to relook at this case or reassess it, it gives them time before that sentencing to look at all information, all the evidence, new and old. And so, you know, again, going back to wanting to make sure that we are talking about the same thing. This is on the agenda. It says, attached resolution urging the U.S. Department of Justice to review and reassess the terms of the plea agreement and sentencing recommendation. That's one. Second is authorize and direct County Council to send on behalf of the board a formal letter to the Attorney General, the U.S. Attorney General, Pam Bondi, and also U.S. Attorney Bill Asaley of Los Angeles, requesting 1, a review of the plea agreement and sentencing, and 2, the advancement of the DOJ's investigation to other individuals involved in the scheme. So again, this is not us interfering, and is not stating that we saw any documents or any other information. We're just asking, please look at this.
Thank you, Supervisor Nguyen, and also for being the non-lawyer on the board.
So repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Phát Bùi,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
and defend
the
Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
and I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duty upon which I'm about to enter. Congratulations, Commissioner.
Thank you,
You're welcome.
Supervisor and former Senator.
Good.
Thank you.
You won a cuộc. Chúc mừng ông Phát làm cán bộ của Orange County.
Anh Đạt.
Ok, 1, 2, 3.
Hello quý vị, kính thưa quý vị, trong những giây phút vừa qua khoảng một tiếng mấy 2 tiếng đồng hồ của chúng tôi, quý vị đã xem cái phóng sự ngày hôm nay có hội đồng giám sát của quận Orange County, có nghĩa là tạm dịch là tiếng Việt chúng ta là gọi là quận cam, quận cam ăn cam, nhưng mà nhớ cam đây không phải là Campuchia mà một trái cam mà chia ra bu lại chia. Ok, thưa quý vị, vừa qua quý vị đã xem xem cái cuộc họp ngày hôm nay cũng như cái ngày mà vinh danh cho bà Janet Nguyễn, đó là giám sát viên địa hạt 1 đã làm cái lễ tưởng niệm ngày 30 tháng 4, đó là coi như 50 năm coi như miền Nam bị thất thủ. Thì, là thứ nhất, thứ hai là vấn đề đưa ra thì có đôi bên thì là bên nghịch, bên thuận là đồng ý, nhưng mà sẽ cuối cùng thì họ sẽ dời lại 2 tuần nữa. Thì quý vị, đặc biệt là thưa quý vị, chúng ta người Việt của chúng ta nếu mà ở quận Orange County mà đã từng ấy thì mình biết rằng ông Andrew như thế nào, một người biết luật mà sai luật và phạm luật, đó là cái quan trọng nhất, và chúng ta phải làm sao để mà đưa có sự công bằng, có cái sự không có sự bất công đối với cái người Việt của chúng ta đóng góp tiền thuế để rồi chính ông này là cái người đã lấy tiền và tham nhũng đưa cho con mình và đem cho gia đình của mình. Đó là một cái chuyện mà vô cùng mà chúng ta cần phải nhớ, và chúng ta phải cần ghi nhớ để làm gì, để tránh để con cháu sau này của chúng ta đừng vi phạm, đừng có gây cái vụ này giống như gây án nữa, làm cho cái là mất mặt cái người Việt của chúng ta. Đó là ông Andrew. Hôm nay thì Lâm Nguyên cũng nói thì lời thật thì nó mất lòng. Ngày hôm nay thì tôi xin lỗi thật quý vị, thì có những quý chú bác mặc đồ lính rồi 1, 2, 3, 4 rồi dữ lắm, tới đi khi mà lãnh cái bằng xong cái chuồn đi về hết rồi, hết trơn cái trọi, không ở lại ủng hộ bà Janet Nguyễn, có nghĩa là hám danh, có nghĩa là khoái bằng. Ok, bà nói thì mà quý vị đừng có buồn tôi chịu thôi. Tôi không có sợ ai hết, mình nói thiệt mà chứ không phải nói láo. Một lần nữa giờ này Lâm Nguyên xin cảm ơn quý vị và theo dõi chương trình của Lâm Nguyên. Xin cảm ơn quý vị rất là nhiều. Chúc quý vị một ngày vui vẻ và hạnh phúc bên những người thân yêu. Hẹn gặp lại clip tới. Xin thân ái kính chào quý vị. Bye bye.